Picture a snake coiled in the dust, its old skin dull and tight, a brittle shell that once protected but now suffocates. It writhes restless, feeling the ache of growth beneath. That skin is familiar, it's safe, but it no longer fits. You know this ache, don't you? Deep inside, you sense the weight of an outdated version of yourself, habits that bind fears, that anchor choices that no longer serve. Why do you cling to this old skin, even as it cracks under the pressure of who you're meant to become? In this journey of forcing yourself to outgrow the old version of you, we begin by facing the truth growth demands release. It's time to shed what holds you back to embrace the raw, vulnerable process of becoming. Feel the tension, feel the pull. You're ready to break free. Imagine yourself at a desk, the clock ticking slower than your heartbeat. You've been in this job for years, a dead-end role that pays the bills but starves your soul. The fluorescent lights buzz overhead, a constant reminder of the dreams you've shelved. Every morning you drag yourself in the weight of routine, heavier than any workload. You know there's more out there, passions to pursue, skills to learn, a life that lights you up. But fear grips you tighter than the paycheck. What if you fail? What if starting over means losing everything, so you stay wrapped in the familiar skin of this job, even as it chafes against your spirit? Months turn to years and the ache grows. You scroll through job listings late at night, heart racing at the thought of something new, only to close the tab with a sigh. Not yet, you tell yourself. I'm not ready, but deep down you know readiness is a myth. One day a colleague, someone who started after you, announces they're leaving for a bold new venture. Their eyes shine with purpose and something in you cracks. Why not you? That night you sit with a pen and paper, listing every reason you've stayed. Fear of failure, fear of the unknown, fear of being seen as reckless. But as you write, you see it. This job isn't safety, it's a cage. Like a snake, you've outgrown this skin. Staying isn't protecting you, it's suffocating you. The lesson burns clear: growth isn't comfortable. It's a struggle, a tearing away of what once fit. You don't shed your old skin by waiting for the perfect moment. You shed it by choosing to move even when your heart trembles. As Napoleon Hill once said in Think and Grow Rich, do not wait, the time will never be just right. Start where you stand and work with whatever tools you may have at your command. The cage of familiarity will always feel safer than the wild unknown, but only one path leads to who you're meant to be. Now picture yourself staring at a blank page, a project deadline looming like a storm on the horizon. You've had weeks to prepare, but every day you've found a reason to delay, scrolling through distractions, tidying your space, telling yourself, I'll start tomorrow. Procrastination isn't just a habit, it's an old skin, a worn-out shield you've carried since the days when avoiding failure felt easier than facing it. You know this pattern holds you back. Missed opportunities pile up like stones in your chest. Yet change feels like scaling a sheer cliff, daunting, impossible. So you cling to the familiar rhythm of delay, even as it drags you down. One evening, the deadline inches closer and panic sets in. You sit down, hands shaking, and force out a few lines. They're messy, imperfect, but there's something. Hours pass and slowly the work takes shape. By dawn, you've done more than you thought possible. Exhaustion mixes with a quiet pride. Why did you wait so long? The old skin of procrastination promised comfort, but it lied. It kept you small, hidden from your own potential. Like a snake, you feel the first tear in that outdated shell. Painful, yes, but liberating. The lesson strikes hard: growth begins the moment you act, not the moment you feel ready. Shedding this habit means facing the discomfort head on, trusting that action, however imperfect, is the path to transformation. Why do you hold so tightly to what no longer fits? Think about it. That old skin, those habits, those fears, that familiar pain, was once your armor. It shielded you from rejection, from failure, from the raw edge of uncertainty. But armor that once saved you can become a prison. A snake doesn't mourn its shed skin. It leaves it in the dust, knowing that clinging to the past would mean death. Yet you hesitate. You wrap yourself in the cracked shell of who you were mistaking familiarity for safety. How many dreams have you buried under the weight of not yet? How many chances have you let slip because change felt like a storm you couldn't weather? The truth is, growth is not a gentle breeze. It's a tempest. It tears at you, strips you bare, leaves you vulnerable under the open sky. But that vulnerability is your power. It's the space where the new version of you takes root. Like a river carving through stone, transformation is slow, relentless, and often unseen until one day you look back and see the canyon you've created. You cling to the old because it's known, but the known is not your destiny. Your destiny lies in the shedding, in the courage to release what once defined you. Pain is not your captor, it's your signal. It whispers, you've outgrown this. Move. There's a lie you've told yourself: if you stay still, you stay safe. But life is not a stagnant pond. It's a rushing current, and standing still only means you're swept backward. You cling to the old version of you because change feels like stepping into a void, a dark expanse with no guarantee of solid ground. Yet consider the snake. Each time it sheds, it doesn't know the shape of its new skin. It trusts the process, driven by an instinct deeper than fear. Why don't you trust yours? What are you protecting by refusing to grow? Growth is not an option, it's a mandate. The old skin of your past self, those doubts, those excuses, those safe choices, will not stretch to fit the person you're becoming. It will split whether you choose to shed it or not. But waiting for life to force the change is far more painful than choosing it yourself. Think of a seed buried in soil. It doesn't resist the crack of its shell. It pushes through, reaching for light it cannot yet see. You too must push. Staying still is not safety, it's stagnation. The old version of you is a shadow, a memory of who you were. Let it fade. Step into the light of who you can be. When the weight of the old skin feels unbearable, don't turn away. Face it. Start small, but start now. Take a quiet moment, grab a notebook, a pen, and write down one thing you've been clinging to. Is it a job that dims your fire? A habit like procrastination that steals your time? Name it. See it. Then ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take to release this? Maybe it's updating your resume. Maybe it's setting a timer for 10 minutes to begin that project you've delayed. Do it today, not tomorrow, not when you're ready, today. Next, anchor yourself with a reminder of why. Write one reason this change matters to you. Tape it somewhere visible: your desk, your mirror. Let it stare back at you when fear whispers, stay safe. Remember, shedding isn't loss, it's liberation. As Tony Robbins often says, change happens when the pain of staying the same is greater than the pain of change. Feel that pain, use it. Each small step is a tear in the old skin, a promise of the stronger, truer you waiting beneath. Growth isn't a one-time act, it's a practice. Build a ritual to help you shed the old. Every week, carve out 30 minutes for reflection. Sit somewhere quiet, away from distractions, and ask, what am I still holding on to that no longer serves me? Be honest, write it down. Then list one action you'll take to let it go, whether it's saying no to a draining commitment or tackling a task you've avoided. Commit to that action within the next day. Pair this with a physical act of release. After writing, tear the paper or burn it safely, imagining the old skin falling away. This isn't just symbolic, it's a signal to your mind that you're done carrying this weight. Consistency builds strength. Each ritual is a hammer strike forging the new you. Keep moving. The snake doesn't shed halfway and stop. Neither should you. Look at the snake as it sheds. There's no elegance in the act. It twists, it scrapes against rough stone, it labors to free itself. But in that struggle, there's beauty. The old skin falls, and what emerges is vibrant, renewed, alive. You too must embrace the struggle of outgrowing yourself. Clinging to the past isn't loyalty, it's fear disguised as virtue. The outdated version of you, those safe choices, those comforting excuses, was never meant to be permanent. It was a scaffold, not a home. Why do you rebuild it every time it crumbles? Understand this struggle is the forge of transformation. It shapes you, sharpens you, reveals you. Each time you choose to release the old, you're not losing yourself, you're finding yourself. As Viktor E. Frankl wrote in Man's Search for Meaning, what is to give light must endure burning, endure the burn of shedding. Let it refine you. The old skin will fall piece by piece until you stand raw, real, and ready for the vastness of who you're meant to become. You've walked through the weight of the old skin, felt its suffocating grip, and seen why you cling to what no longer fits. You've stood in the cage of a dead-end job, lingered in the shadow of procrastination, and faced the fear of release. The lesson is clear: growth demands that you shed the outdated version of yourself, even when it hurts, even when it scares you. Like the snake, you must trust the process, knowing that what emerges on the other side is stronger, truer, more alive. The pain of staying the same will always outweigh the pain of change. Remember that as you take your first steps. As we move forward, prepare to explore how to forge this new self, how to build from the raw vulnerability of shedding. But for now, hold this truth close. Let it be your guide through the struggle. Shed the old, reveal the new. Picture this: a seed buried beneath a slab of cold, unyielding concrete. It has no voice to scream, no hands to push, yet it presses upward with a silent, relentless force. Tiny cracks form invisible at first, until one day a green shoot pierces through the impossible. That's you. Right now, you're that seed trapped beneath the weight of barriers, some built by others, some poured by your own doubts. But here's the truth: no concrete can hold you forever. You were born to break through. Welcome to the battle of outgrowing the old version of you. In this arena, the first fight isn't against the world, it's against the walls that surround your potential. Internal fears whisper that you're not enough. External voices mock your bold steps. Yet, like that seed, you carry a force within you, a resilience that defies the hardest obstacles. This section, breaking through the concrete, is about recognizing those barriers, internal and external, that resist your growth. It's about feeling the weight, naming it, and shattering it with every choice you make. Are you ready to push because the cracks are already forming and the light is waiting? Imagine you're 25, standing at a crossroads. You've just told your closest friends about your dream, a career that doesn't fit the mold. Maybe you want to be a freelance artist in a world of 9-to-5s, or a tech innovator when everyone expects a safe corporate path. Their laughter hits like a hammer. That's not practical, they say. You'll fail. Stick to what's secure. Each word is a layer of concrete poured over your ambition, heavy and suffocating. You feel the sting of their doubt, the pressure to conform. Nights pass and you lie awake wondering if they're right. Should you shrink back into the familiar, the safe, the old version of you? But something stirs. You remember why you started. That vision, your vision, burns brighter than their words. So you pick up your brush, your laptop, your plan, and you work in silence. You sketch through rejection. You code through ridicule. Months turn to years, and slowly your art finds an audience, your idea gains traction. One day those same friends see your name in lights, your work celebrated. They're silent now, but you're not. You've broken through their concrete, not with loud defiance, but with quiet, unyielding growth. Like a tree-splitting stone, your resilience carved a path no one else could see. The lesson here is raw and real. External barriers, criticism, skepticism, societal norms are heavy, but they're not unbreakable. They're just concrete, and you're the force beneath it. The takeaway isn't to fight every critic, it's to trust your roots, to push upward even when the weight feels crushing. You don't need permission to grow, you just need persistence. Now picture yourself after a string of failures. You've tried again and again to build something meaningful. Maybe it's a business that collapsed, a relationship that crumbled, or a personal goal that slipped through your fingers. Each miss feels like a brick added to a wall inside you. I'm not cut out for this, you tell yourself. I'll never get it right. Self-doubt is the thickest concrete of all, poured by your own hands, reinforced by every setback. You sit in its shadow, replaying your mistakes, shrinking into the old defeated version of you. But one day you pause. You catch yourself mid-thought and ask, is this true? Am I really doomed to fail? That question is a crack in the slab. You start to journal, to dissect your fears, to remember the small wins buried beneath the losses. You recall the first time you dared to try the passion that fueled you before the falls. Slowly you rewrite the story. You're not a failure. You're a learner. You're not stuck. You're growing. With each new attempt, each adjusted step, the concrete of doubt begins to splinter. You don't succeed overnight, but you stand taller. You push harder. And one day you look back and see the rubble of that old wall behind you, a tree now rising where doubt once ruled. The truth here mirrors the tree. Breaking through concrete. Internal barriers are often the heaviest, but they're also the most fragile once you challenge them. Resilience isn't about never doubting, it's about questioning the doubt. It's about pushing past the old narrative to uncover the stronger, truer you. Let's sit with this for a moment. Barriers, whether they come from outside voices or inner fears, are not accidents. They're the forge where your strength is tested. Think of them as the concrete over that seed of potential within you. Society may lay down slabs of expectation telling you who to be, how to live, what to dream. Your own mind might add layers of fear, whispering that change is too hard, that growth is too painful. But here's a truth as old as the earth: nothing grows without resistance. A tree doesn't curse the concrete, it uses it as leverage to rise. How many times have you let a barrier define you? How often have you stopped at the first sign of weight, mistaking it for a dead end? Consider this: every obstacle is a mirror. It shows you not what you lack, but what you're capable of overcoming. The criticism from others reveals your courage to stand apart. The self-doubt in your heart exposes your hunger to prove yourself wrong. Like a river carving through stone, your growth isn't a sudden burst, it's a steady, relentless force. Barriers don't stop you, they shape you. So don't shrink from the concrete. Lean into it. Let it crack under the weight of your will. Resilience is not a gift some are born with, it's a choice you make every day. Picture yourself as that tree roots digging deeper, even when the surface seems impenetrable. External barriers, mockery, rejection, doubt from others sting like a storm's wind. Internal barriers, fear, shame, the echo of past failures claw at you like frost in the soil. Yet your roots, your resilience, are stronger than both. They don't ask for perfect conditions, they create them. They don't wait for the concrete to crumble, they shatter it from below. Have you ever considered what resilience truly costs? It's not just sweat or time, it's the willingness to face the storm and stand anyway. It's the grit to look at the old version of you, the one trembling under the weight of barriers, and say, I'm more than this. Growth isn't comfortable, it's a battle between who you were and who you're becoming. But every push, every crack you make in that concrete is a victory. You're not just breaking through obstacles, you're breaking through yourself, so root deeper. Let the barriers be your anvil, not your cage. Forge yourself in their resistance and rise. When barriers loom, whether it's a harsh word from someone you trust or a wave of self-doubt after a setback, don't let them sit unnamed. Pause, grab a pen and paper, or simply sit in silence and name the concrete pressing down on you. Is it fear of failure? Is it the weight of someone else's expectations? Write it down or speak it aloud. Naming it strips its power. It's no longer a vague shadow. It's a defined obstacle, something you can face. Next, ask yourself, what's one small step I can take to push against this? If it's criticism holding you back, commit to 1 hour of focused work on your dream, proving to yourself that their words don't define you. If it's self-doubt, recall a past moment of strength, write down one time you overcame a challenge, then act. Take that step, however small. Each action is a root pushing through the slab. Finally, reflect at the end of the day, did I grow even an inch? Celebrate that growth. You're breaking through not with grand gestures, but with steady, deliberate force. Resilience isn't a trait, it's a muscle you build through repetition. When barriers, internal or external, threaten to crush your growth, train yourself to respond with intention. Start by setting a daily reminder to check in with your mindset. Ask, am I shrinking from a challenge or am I leaning into it? If you catch yourself retreating, pivot. Choose one action that defies the barrier. If you're doubting your worth after a failure, commit to trying again, even imperfectly. If others question your path, share your progress with someone who believes in you, reinforcing your resolve. Consistency is key. As James Clear writes in Atomic Habits, you do not rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. Build a system for resilience. Maybe it's a 5-minute morning ritual to affirm your purpose, or a weekly review of what barriers you've pushed against. Track your small wins, they're the cracks in the concrete. Over time, this muscle grows. Barriers won't disappear, but your strength to shatter them will. Keep pushing. Your roots are stronger than you think. As we navigate these barriers, remember the wisdom of Napoleon Hill from Think and Grow Rich Strength. And growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. Hill reminds us that the concrete of life, whether it's doubt or opposition, isn't a punishment. It's the very material that builds our character. In your journey to outgrow the old, you embrace this struggle. Each barrier you face is an opportunity to forge a stronger self. Similarly, in The Power of Now, Eckhart Tolle urges realize deeply that the present moment is all you have. Make the now the primary focus of your life. When barriers weigh heavy, anchor yourself in this moment. Don't dwell on past failures or future fears. Focus on the push you can make right now, be it a decision, a small action, or a shift in thought. This presence is your route breaking through the concrete of distraction and despair. You've walked through the battlefield of barriers, both the external voices that mock your path and the internal whispers that question your worth. You've seen how, like a tree splitting through concrete, your resilience can defy even the hardest obstacles. The key lesson here is clear. Recognizing and confronting these barriers is the first step to outgrowing the old version of you. It's not about avoiding the weight, it's about using it to rise taller. Every crack you make, every choice to push forward is proof of your strength. As you move forward, carry this truth: no barrier is permanent. Not the skepticism of others, not the doubt in your heart. You are the force beneath the slab, the seed destined to break free. Keep pushing even when the weight feels unbearable. The light is closer than you realize, and the next section of this journey awaits, where we'll explore how to nurture the new version of you, emerging from these cracks. Push harder. Your breakthrough is just beneath the surface. Picture this: a blacksmith stands before a roaring furnace, the air thick with heat and the scent of molten iron. Sweat beads on their brow as they grip the hammer, striking the raw, unyielding metal again and again. Each blow reverberates through their bones, each spark a reminder of the struggle. Yet they persist. Why? Because they know the truth you must now embrace. Transformation is born in the forge of discomfort. To outgrow the old version of you, you must endure the heat, welcome the pressure, and let the hammer shape you into something unbreakable. Welcome to the heart of your journey. This is not a path of ease or comfort. This is enduring the forge, where you learn to face the raw, unrelenting struggle required to shed who you once were. You're here because you've chosen to rise, to force yourself beyond the familiar, beyond the safe. But make no mistake, growth is not a gentle breeze. It's a storm that tests your resolve. It's the ache in your muscles, the weight on your shoulders, the voice in your head screaming for you to stop. Will you listen, or will you strike back harder, fiercer, until the old you is nothing but ash? Let's step into the fire together and discover what you're truly made of. Imagine this: it's 4:30 a.m. and the world outside your window is still cloaked in silence. Your alarm pierces the darkness like a battle cry, but your body begs for mercy. Every muscle aches for just 5 more minutes under the warmth of your blanket. The old you whispers, tomorrow, start tomorrow. It's a seductive lie, one you've fallen for too many times. But this time you're different. You've made a vow to outgrow that weak, wavering self. So you force your feet to the cold floor. You splash icy water on your face, feeling the shock jolt you awake. You're not just waking up early, you're forging a new will, hammering away at the softness that once held you back. Day after day, the battle continues. Some mornings, exhaustion pins you down like a boulder. The temptation to quit is a shadow that never leaves. You stumble, you doubt, but you keep rising before the sun. Why? Because you've glimpsed the truth. Each painful step is a strike of the hammer, shaping you into someone stronger. 1 month in, you notice the change. Your mind is sharper, your energy boundless. Tasks that once overwhelmed you now feel like pebbles in your path. You've endured the heat of discipline, and the old sluggish version of you is melting away. This is the blacksmith's lesson. Transformation isn't a gift, it's a grind. The discomfort of those early mornings was your furnace, the exhaustion your hammer. You didn't just wake up early, you rebuilt yourself blow by blow. As Napoleon Hill wrote in Think and Grow Rich, strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle. You've lived this truth. The struggle wasn't your enemy, it was your maker. And now you stand taller, knowing the forge has only just begun to shape you. Now picture yourself as an athlete standing at the edge of a grueling training session. The track stretches before you, endless and unforgiving. Your legs are lead, your lungs burn with every breath, and your mind screams, enough. You've been at this for weeks, pushing your body beyond what feels possible, chasing a goal that seems just out of reach. The old you would have stopped by now, would have settled for good enough. But you've committed to outgrowing that self, to becoming a force of relentless will. So you tighten your laces, grit your teeth, and run. Each lap is a battle. Sweat stings your eyes and every muscle protests with a fiery ache. Doubt creeps in like a thief. What if I'm not built for this? What if I fail? But you silence it with every stride. You remember why you started to become someone who doesn't break, who doesn't bend under pressure. Weeks turn into months and slowly the pain becomes a strange ally. You feel your body adapt, your endurance grow. That ache in your legs, it's the hammer striking iron, forging a resilience the old you never knew. The day of the race arrives and you don't just compete, you dominate. Not because it was easy, but because you endured the forge when others would have fled. This is the essence of transformation. The heat of training, the pressure of pushing past your limits, they were shaping you all along. Like the blacksmith who knows each strike hones the blade, you've learned that discomfort is the tool of growth. As Eric Thomas often says, pain is temporary. It may last for a minute or an hour or a day or even a year, but eventually it will subside and something else will take its place. You've traded temporary pain for lasting strength, and the old version of you can't keep up with who you've become. Let's pause and look deeper into this fire you've chosen to face. Discomfort is not a wall to avoid. It's a crucible to enter. Think of yourself as raw iron full of potential but unshaped, untested. The old version of you is comfortable in that raw state, safe, predictable, soft. But to outgrow that self, you must step into the forge. The heat of struggle, the weight of discipline, the sting of failure, these are not punishments. They are the tools that refine you. Without them, you remain unshaped, a lump of potential that never becomes a blade. Consider this: how many times have you turned away from the heat? How many dreams have you shelved because the first spark of difficulty burned too much? The truth is, growth is not a meadow of wildflowers. It's a mountain forged by volcanic fire, jagged and unyielding. Yet it's on that mountain that you find your strength. The blacksmith doesn't curse the heat of the furnace, they wield it. So must you. Embrace the discomfort as your teacher. Let the pressure of each challenge temper your spirit. You are not breaking under the hammer. You are becoming unbreakable. This is the paradox of transformation. What feels like destruction is creation. The old you must be dismantled piece by piece in the flames of effort. But from those ashes, something extraordinary emerges. You are not just enduring the forge, you are being forged. And with every strike, you edge closer to a version of yourself that the world cannot ignore. Let's reflect on the hammer itself, the force that shapes you. In the blacksmith's hands, it's an instrument of precision, striking with intent to mold the iron into something greater. In your life, that hammer is the struggle you face daily. It's the weight of waking up when you're exhausted, the strain of pushing through when every fiber of you wants to quit. It's heavy, relentless, and sometimes cruel. But ask yourself this: would you rather remain unshaped, untouched by the hammer's force? Or would you rather endure its blows to become a masterpiece? Think of the hammer as a river carving through stone. It doesn't ask permission, it simply flows, wearing down resistance over time. So too must you flow through the struggles that shape you. Resistance is natural. The old you will fight to stay as you are. It will cling to comfort like a drowning man to driftwood. But you are not meant to drift. You are meant to carve a path, to let the hammer of hardship sculpt you into something enduring. The pain of each strike is temporary, but the strength it builds is eternal. As you endure the forge, remember that the hammer's weight is not random. It strikes where you are weakest, forcing you to grow where you most need it. So welcome its force. Let it hit hard. You are not a victim of struggle. You are its apprentice. And with every blow, the old version of you falls away, revealing the unyielding core of who you're meant to be. Now let's turn philosophy into action. When discomfort looms, whether it's the dread of an early alarm or the ache of a grueling task, don't shrink from it. Step into the heat with purpose. Here's how: first, pause before you react. That split second of hesitation is your power. Ask yourself, is this discomfort a wall or is it my forge? Remind yourself that every struggle is a hammer strike, shaping you into something stronger. Second, break the challenge into smaller blows. If waking up early feels impossible, focus on just getting out of bed. If training exhausts, you aim for one more lap, one more rep. Small victories stack up, forging resilience over time. Third, anchor yourself to your why. Write down one reason you're pushing through, be it a goal, a vision, or a promise to yourself. Read it when doubt creeps in. Let it be the fire in your furnace fueling you when the heat feels unbearable. Finally, celebrate the struggle. After each hard day, reflect on how you endured. Feel the pride of knowing you didn't break. As James Allen wrote in, "As a man thinketh, the oak sleeps in the acorn, the bird waits in the egg, and in the highest vision of the soul, a waking angel stirs." You are that waking angel stirring through struggle. Face the heat head on and watch yourself transform. Here's another tool to keep you in the forge. Build your inner furnace, a source of strength that burns even when external motivation fades. Start by creating non-negotiable habits. Choose one area of discomfort, perhaps a daily workout or a strict schedule, and commit to it without exception. Treat it as sacred as the hammer that shapes your will. When temptation whispers, let your commitment roar louder. Next, surround yourself with reminders of your transformation. Keep a journal of your progress, noting every time you push through discomfort. Read it on tough days to see how far you've come. Visualize the blacksmith at work. See yourself as the iron growing sharper with each strike. Lastly, seek accountability. Share your goals with someone who will hold you to the fire, who won't let you flee the forge. Their encouragement will be the bellows to your flame. Discomfort is inevitable, but surrender is optional. Build your inner furnace, stoke it daily, and let it burn away the old you. Each time you endure, you're not just surviving, you're crafting a version of yourself that can withstand any storm. As we step away from the forge for now, let's carry its lessons with us. You've seen that discomfort is not your enemy. It's your greatest ally in outgrowing the old version of you. Through the sweat of early mornings and the ache of relentless training, you've felt the hammer's weight, the heat's burn. You've learned that transformation demands struggle, that pressure and pain are the tools that sculpt your strength. The key takeaway is clear: enduring the forge is not just a choice, it's the only path to becoming who you're meant to be. Remember the blacksmith standing unyielding before the furnace. Their work is never done, and neither is yours. Each day offers a new strike, a new chance to shape yourself. So keep stepping into the heat. Keep welcoming the struggle. The fire you face today is forging the unbreakable you of tomorrow. As we move forward, prepare to build on this foundation, to take the strength you've gained and wield it with purpose. Endure the heat. You are being forged into greatness. Picture a river, fierce and unyielding, cutting through ancient stone. It does not ask permission. It does not hesitate at the mountain's edge. It carves its own path, relentless, reshaping the very earth beneath it. You are that river. Right now you stand at the brink of transformation, the old version of you clinging like stubborn rock. Will you flow forward, or will you stagnate in familiar shallows? The choice to redefine who you are and where you're headed is yours, but it demands deliberate action, a force as unstoppable as water itself. In this journey to outgrow the old version of yourself, carving a new path is not a passive wish. It's a rebellion against comfort, a declaration that you will not be bound by who you were yesterday. Feel the urgency in your chest. You've lingered long enough in the shadows of past fears, past failures, past versions of a self that no longer fits. Today you step forward. Today you forge ahead, even when the ground resists. Let's walk this path together through stories of grit, reflections on change, and steps to claim your new horizon. The river within you is ready to roar. Imagine this: you've spent years in a relationship that dims your light. Every word, every glance from them feels like a weight pulling you deeper into a version of yourself you no longer recognize. You've forgotten how to laugh without fear, how to dream without doubt. But one day something snaps. You look in the mirror and see a stranger staring back. Enough. You decide to leave, not with fanfare, but with quiet resolve. The first step is small: packing a single bag, finding a place to stay, whispering to yourself, "I deserve more." The ground trembles beneath you. Fear screams that you'll fail, that you're nothing without them. Yet you move. Day by day you rebuild. You start journaling your thoughts, rediscovering your voice. You take a class, join a group, smile at a stranger. Each action, though tiny, is a chisel against the old stone of who you were. The conflict is raw. Outgrowing the old you means facing the void left behind, loneliness, uncertainty, the ache of starting over. But as you push forward, you feel it a shift. Like a river cutting through a canyon, your choices begin to shape a new landscape. You're not just surviving, you're becoming. Months later, you stand taller, your laughter freer. You've learned that change, though painful, carves its own way. The lesson echoes deliberate action, no matter how small is the current that moves you forward. You didn't wait for permission, you flowed and the path opened. Now picture yourself as a professional tied to a career that once felt safe but now feels like a cage. You've climbed the ladder in accounting, but your heart yearns to create, to design, to build something with your hands. The idea of pivoting to a new field, graphic design, terrifies you. What about the years invested? What about the bills, the expectations? Yet a vision burns within you, a life where work feels like purpose. So you decide to act. You enroll in an online course, fumbling through software at midnight after long days at your old job. Your first designs are clumsy, your confidence fragile. Colleagues raise eyebrows. Doubt creeps in like fog. Am I too late to start over, you wonder? But you keep going. You watch tutorials, seek feedback, build a portfolio one piece at a time. The struggle to outgrow your old self is a storm within. You're torn between the comfort of the known and the chaos of reinvention. Every misstep feels like proof you should quit. Yet like a river forging through resistant earth, you persist. Each deliberate step, each late night, each revision widens your path. Months turn to a year, and suddenly a client hires you. Then another. You realize the old version of you, the one tethered to safety, is fading. The lesson shines. Clear change doesn't wait for certainty. It demands action, and through action you carve your way. Your vision, once a whisper, now roars like rushing water. Step back for a moment and consider this transformation is not a gift dropped into your lap. It's a path you must carve with your own hands, your own will. Like a river forging through unyielding stone, change doesn't apologize for the mess it makes. It doesn't pause for your doubts or fears. It moves, and so must you. How many times have you stood still, waiting for the perfect moment to redefine yourself? How often have you let the weight of the old you anchor you in place? The truth is, the perfect moment is a myth. The only moment that matters is now, when you choose to act, to step forward, to cut through the resistance of your own hesitation. Think of your life as a vast landscape shaped by the currents of your decisions. The old paths, habits, fears, outdated dreams may feel familiar, but they lead to nowhere new. To outgrow who you were, you must become the river. You must embrace the discomfort of motion, the grind of carving something fresh from the hard earth of your past. Every choice, no matter how small, is a droplet adding to your strength. Sign up for that course. End that draining connection. Speak that truth you've buried. These are not mere actions. They are declarations of who you are becoming. Pain is not your barrier, it's your blade. Resistance is not your end, it's your canvas. So move. Let your deliberate steps echo like water over stone, shaping a future only you can claim. Let's go deeper. Resistance is not your enemy, it's your mentor. When you decide to redefine who you are, the world will push back. Old habits will claw at you. Fear will howl like a storm against your resolve. But understand this, a river doesn't grow strong in still waters. It's the rocks, the bends, the steep drops that forge its power. So too with you. Every obstacle in your path to outgrowing the old version of yourself is a lesson, a chance to sharpen your will. Have you ever noticed how the hardest steps often lead to the most profound shifts? Why do you think that is? Resistance teaches you endurance. It reveals what you're made of when the easy road vanishes. When you leave behind a toxic past or leap into an uncertain future, the pushback isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign you're on the right track. Like a river cutting deeper with every surge, your deliberate actions against resistance redefine your edges, your depth, your strength. Don't shy away from the struggle. Lean into it. Let it shape you. The old you will resist change, whispering that safety is better than growth. But safety is a lie when it keeps you small. Choose the harder path. Choose to carve through the stone. Your new self waits on the other side, stronger for every battle fought. Now let's ground this fire into action. Carving a new path doesn't mean overhauling your life in a single day. It means starting small with intention. When doubt or fear grips you, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what is one step I can take right now to move toward who I want to be? Maybe it's writing down a goal you've buried under years of excuses. Maybe it's saying no to something or someone that drains your spirit. Maybe it's spending 10 minutes learning a skill that scares you. That single step is your droplet of water joining the current of change. Commit to consistency over perfection. A river doesn't carve a canyon in one flood. It works over time, relentless and steady. Set a daily or weekly action, something manageable. Track it. Celebrate it even if it feels insignificant. As James Allen wrote in As a Man Thinketh, a man's mind may be likened to a garden which may be intelligently cultivated or allowed to run wild. Cultivate your path with deliberate care. If you falter, don't drown in guilt. Stand up. Take the next step. Your momentum builds with every choice. Soon, those small actions will merge into a force no resistance can stop. Here's another tool to wield to anchor yourself with a vision. Redefining who you are requires knowing where you're headed, even if the destination feels blurry. Sit down today and write out what the new version of you looks like. Not in vague terms, but in vivid detail. How do you feel? What do you do each day? What have you left behind? This vision is your compass when the path gets rough. As Napoleon Hill said in Think and Grow Rich, whatever the mind can conceive and believe it can achieve, hold that image tight. Let it pull you forward. When resistance hits, and it will revisit your vision, use it to fuel your next action. If you're pivoting careers, remind yourself why: the freedom, the purpose, the alignment. If you're rebuilding after loss, picture the peace waiting ahead. Pair this vision with one tangible step each week. Update a resume. Reach out to a mentor. Heal one old wound by forgiving yourself. These actions, guided by your vision, are the river's current cutting through stone. You're not just moving, you're moving with purpose. Keep your eyes on the horizon and let every step carve you closer to it. Finally, let's reflect on this. Your path will never be fully carved. Outgrowing the old you isn't a destination, it's a lifelong flow. Like a river that never stops shaping the land, you will always be in motion, always redefining. Does that scare you? Or does it ignite a fire within? The beauty lies in the unfinished nature of your journey. Each deliberate action today prepares you for tomorrow's challenges, tomorrow's growth. You are not meant to be static. You are meant to evolve, to surge, to reshape yourself against every barrier. Think of your life as a masterpiece, half-formed a cathedral, rising stone by stone. The old version of you built the foundation, but it's your choice now to raise the spires. Every decision to act, to change, to push forward adds to the structure. There will be cracks. There will be storms. But a river doesn't stop because the rain falls harder. It absorbs the deluge and grows stronger. So do you. Embrace the mess of becoming. Revel in the grind of carving your path. The new you isn't a finished product. It's a living force, ever moving, ever growing. Let that truth free you. Act today, not for perfection, but for progress. Your path is yours to shape, and its beauty lies in every stroke. As we close this chapter of your journey, hold tight to the truth we've uncovered. Carving a new path is the heartbeat of outgrowing the old version of you. It's not about grand gestures or overnight miracles. It's about deliberate action, small, steady, fierce, cutting through the stone of your past like a river through a mountain. You've seen it in the one who walked away from toxicity, rebuilding their soul one step at a time. You felt it in the professional who leapt into uncertainty, guided by a vision brighter than fear. And you've learned it through reflection. Resistance is your teacher, vision your guide, and progress your purpose. The key lesson rings: clear transformation demands your active will. You must choose to move, to act, to carve, even when the ground resists. As we prepare to dive deeper in the next leg of this journey, carry this power with you. Let it fuel your next step, your next battle, your next becoming. You are the river. No obstacle can hold you forever. Flow with intention, and the path will open. Flow relentless. Your path is yours to carve. Picture yourself encased in a tight, unyielding cocoon, the walls pressing against your very being. Every push, every strain feels like a battle against an invisible force. Why endure this suffocating struggle? Because deep within, you know the truth. This confinement is not your prison, it's your cradle of transformation. You are becoming. In this moment, as we dive into Emerging Transformed, we celebrate the new version of you, the one forged through relentless effort and unyielding will. This is not just about personal victory. It's about lighting a beacon for others through the story of your journey. You've clawed your way through the darkness of doubt and fear, and now as a butterfly breaks free from its chrysalis, you emerge radiant, powerful, and utterly transformed. Feel the weight of your old self fall away. Stand tall in this newfound strength. Your struggle was the price of becoming something greater, and today you inspire others to spread their own wings. Imagine standing before a mirror gazing into eyes that once flinched at their own reflection. Years ago, you were a shadow of who you are now, hunched under the weight of self-doubt, paralyzed by the fear of failure. Every step forward felt like wading through quicksand. You wanted to speak up in meetings but choked on your words. You dreamed of pursuing a passion but buried it beneath excuses. Yet something stirred within you, a quiet resolve, a refusal to remain small. You forced yourself to outgrow that old version day by grueling day. You read books that challenged your mindset. You sought mentors who saw your potential before you did. You stumbled, oh how you stumbled, but each fall taught you how to stand taller. Now look at you. You stride into rooms with a quiet, unshakable confidence you never imagined possible. You pitch ideas with conviction. You've built a life that reflects your courage, a career, a craft, a purpose. As you trace the scars of your journey, you realize they aren't marks of defeat. They're the etchings of your transformation. Like a butterfly emerging from its cocoon, you understand that the struggle was never meant to break you. It was the very process of becoming greater. The lesson is clear. Every ounce of pain, every moment of resistance was shaping the wings you now soar with. And as you stand in this new skin, you know your journey isn't just yours, it's a story that can awaken others. Now picture this. You're sitting across from a close friend at a dimly lit cafe, the air heavy with the scent of roasted coffee and unspoken fears. They confess their struggle, trapped in a job that drains their spirit, terrified to leap towards something new. Their voice trembles as they admit, "I don't think I'm brave enough to change." You lean in, your own past flashing before your eyes. You remember that same paralyzing fear, the nights spent wrestling with indecision, the voice in your head screaming that you weren't enough. But you also remember the moment you pushed through, when you quit playing small and forced yourself to outgrow the old timid version of you. So you share your story. You tell them how you once stood at the edge of your own abyss, heart pounding, and chose to jump anyway. You describe the first terrifying steps applying for that dream role, despite rejection after rejection, or starting a side project with trembling hands. You admit the struggle felt like being trapped in a cocoon, every effort seeming futile, until one day you broke free. Your friend listens, eyes wide, as you reveal how that struggle birthed a strength you never knew you had. "If I could do it, you say so can you." Days later, they call you, voice brimming with hesitant excitement. They've taken their first step, inspired by your wings. The lesson shines bright. Your transformation, hard-earned through struggle, is a lighthouse for others lost in their own storms. As Napoleon Hill once wrote, "Strength and growth come only through continuous effort and struggle." Your journey proves it. Take a moment to marvel at who you become. Celebrating the new version of you isn't about arrogance. It's about honoring the battles you fought in silence. You've shed layers of doubt, like dead skin, emerging raw, real, and radiant. Think about it. How many times did you want to give up? How many nights did you lie awake convinced the struggle would crush you? Yet here you are, standing as proof that pain is not your enemy. It's your sculptor. Like a butterfly pushing against the cocoon, every strain was crafting your wings. The tightness, the resistance, the unbearable pressure, they were never punishments. They were preparations. Your journey ripples beyond you. When others see your transformation, they glimpse what's possible for themselves. You become a mirror reflecting their untapped potential. Your scars tell a story of resilience, your confidence a tale of rebirth. Isn't it profound how your struggle, once a private war, now ignites hope in others? You are no longer just a survivor of your past, you are a symbol of what it means to outgrow it. So stand tall, spread those hard-won wings. Let the world see that struggle is the price of becoming something greater, and it's a price worth paying. Let's dive deeper into the power of your story. Inspiring others through your journey isn't a mere byproduct, it's a sacred responsibility. Think of yourself as a river carving through stone. Your path wasn't easy. The obstacles were jagged, the current fierce. Yet with every push forward, you reshape the landscape of your life. Now others downstream see the path you forged and find the courage to flow toward their own horizons. Have you considered how many lives you've already touched without realizing it? How many quiet observers have watched your transformation and felt a spark of possibility? Your emergence from the cocoon of struggle isn't just a personal victory, it's a universal call to action. As you soar, you remind others that they too can break free. Your story is a seed planted in barren soil, whispering that growth is possible even in the harshest conditions. As Tony Robbins often emphasizes, life is a gift, and it offers us the privilege, opportunity, and responsibility to give something back by becoming more. Your transformation fulfills this responsibility. You've paid the price of struggle, and now your wings inspire others to endure their own. Let this truth settle in. You are not just transformed, you're a transformer. Now let's ground this celebration in action. To truly honor the new version of you, take a moment each day to acknowledge your growth. Here's how: carve out 5 minutes in your morning or evening. Stand before a mirror, look into your own eyes, and speak aloud one thing you've overcome. Maybe it's the fear of failure that once held you hostage. Maybe it's the insecurity that silenced your voice. Name it, own it, then affirm the strength you've gained. I am no longer that person. I am stronger now. This simple act anchors you in your transformation, reminding you of the cocoon you've shattered. Next, document your journey. Write down the struggles you faced and the victories you've claimed. This isn't just for you, it's for the day someone needs to hear your story. When doubt creeps in, revisit these pages. See how far you've come. Let them be proof that struggle is the price of becoming greater. Finally, wear your confidence boldly. Speak up in spaces where you once shrank. Take risks you once avoided. Your wings are ready, use them. This is how you celebrate the new you, not with fleeting pride, but with purposeful action. Inspiring others doesn't require grand gestures. It starts with small, intentional acts. Begin by sharing your story authentically. The next time someone confides their fears or doubts, don't just listen, reveal a piece of your own struggle. Tell them about a moment you felt trapped in your cocoon and how pushing through changed you. Be raw, be real. Your vulnerability is a bridge connecting their pain to your triumph. Ask them what's one small step you can take today. Guide them to act, even if it's just writing down a goal. Additionally, model the transformation you've achieved. Show up as the person you've become: confident, resilient, purposeful. Let your actions speak louder than words. When others see you thriving despite past struggles, they'll feel the pull to rise themselves. Offer encouragement, not solutions. Say, I believe in you just as I learned to believe in myself, as Dale Carnegie noted in How to Win Friends and Influence People. The only way to influence people is to talk in terms of what the other person wants. Focus on their dreams, their potential. Your light, hard-earned through struggle, can ignite theirs. Be the butterfly that shows them flight is possible. As we close this chapter of Emerging Transformed, let the weight of your journey settle into your bones. You've forced yourself to outgrow the old version of you, breaking free from the cocoon of struggle to reveal a brilliance you once couldn't fathom. Celebrating the new version of you isn't just a personal triumph, it's a gift to the world. Your story, etched in every scar and victory, inspires others to take their first trembling step. The key lesson rings true. Transformation is not a destination, but a ripple that extends far beyond you, touching lives you may never fully see. Struggle was the price of becoming something greater, and you've paid it in full. Now, as you stand in your newfound strength, prepare to carry this momentum forward. The next chapter awaits, where we'll explore how to sustain and expand this transformation, building a legacy from your wings. Push through the cocoon. Your wings are waiting to inspire the world.